Hello everyone. Let's look at using path in Rust. So we're going to look at some examples and then we'll modify some code and see what happens. So the type supports a number of operations for inspecting a path, including breaking the path into its components separated by a / on Unix, Linux, Mac OS X, and either / or / on Windows, extracting the file name, determining whether the path is absolute, and so on. Here's the example from the Rust documentation. Let path equal path new. So we're converting a string into a path object. Once we've got it as a path object, we can then check parent, which is foo in this case. We can get the stem, the file stem, so that's bar in this case. And then we can get the extension, txt. That's quite useful. Okay, let's look at some code. So first, we want to create the path. So we've got a string, and it is / user / bin. Run this, it will create the path object. So this here, path, will then create a path. So if we run it, path is user bin. Don't worry about these bits for now. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, so that is how to create the path. Next, let's look at components. So now we've got a path, same code as what we just looked at there, creating the path. For the component in the path components, so what we're doing is we're getting the path and we're splitting it up into its constituent parts, and then we will print those parts. So if we run that, see here, so that function we just looked at is actually giving us component, root dir, normal, normal. So it knows whether it's the root directory or not. Next. So here we're using the matches macro. So again, we create each function. I'm doing this 2 lines where we create the path. So check if the first component of type component normal using the matches macro. Check if it's of type component normal even. So what we're doing is we're saying, is the first part of this path, is it a component? And in this case, it won't be, because the first part is actually as we're iterating over it, the first part is actually / So first component is not a normal component because it's actually the root there. And then if we come down here, this is actually the main code. Matches, the matches macro that we just used. So this is just an aside. Matches exclamation mark. So we're passing in the result, where the result is sum minus 42. So if that's greater than 0, true, result is positive value, else not positive value. So that's using matches, the matches macro. Okay, so that's a very quick look at the creation of paths and then just using them to separate the constituent parts of a file path. So rather than just working with a string, and this works on all of the main operating systems as well, so whether it's Windows or Linux or any other, we're actually getting an OS str object. So thanks for watching. That's just a quick intro to using path, and yeah, happy days. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back very soon.